Hey, what's up? It's Enigma Hood. So there is a subject trending on Facebook right now about Mark Zuckerberg addressing the defacing of, I guess, like this whiteboard that they have at some Facebook headquarters in California, I think, and where they can write anything. And repeatedly, people would write Black Lives Matter, and then that would be defaced. And someone would erase it and write All Lives Matter. And it became such a problem that Mark Zuckerberg had to address the issue. So I will address the issue, and I will try to explain why this is. So the question is, should Black Lives Matter be changed to All Lives Matter? And the answer is no. The reason is not because all lives don't matter. The Black Lives Matter movement began to highlight a point that blacks were being treated as if their lives didn't matter. So it was simply stating an obvious fact to everyone. It wasn't saying that other lives don't matter. Other people's lives were being treated as if their lives already mattered, specifically whites. Whites were already being treated as if their lives matter. That does not mean that there weren't any white victims or there weren't any white victims of police brutality. However, the presence of white victims as a result of police brutality does not mean that there isn't systemic abuse, oppression, and discrimination directed towards blacks, treating them by the police as if their lives don't matter. That was the whole point. It is highlighting and trying to emphasize this fundamental fact that at the moment, black people have the worst deal out of all the races. And that's me saying it as a brown guy, a non-black guy, as a Sri Lankan guy. I personally, even though I go through a lot of the same trials and tribulations and discrimination, very similar type of discrimination as blacks do, it's not the same. It is not the same. Blacks go through a much harsher treatment. The way that police perceive them, especially if they dress a certain way, with baggy pants, or if they're wearing, bandana or something like that, something that might look like they're in a gang or something like that, or have a stereotypical thug look. Black people are stopped repeatedly by the police. They are disproportionately targeted for drug-related offenses, and their rights are repeatedly violated. So that's why Black Lives Matter should not be changed to All Lives Matter. And the people who constantly try to do this change, either do not understand this seemingly obvious, or should be obvious fact, that black people have the worst deal in America, or they are racists themselves who are trying to diminish and undermine the Black Lives Matter movement. So, anytime you see someone trying to say all lives matter, explain that to them. Explain that, no, that doesn't mean that other lives don't matter. It means that blacks have the worst deal in America at the moment, and that needs to change. Bottom line, this is Enigma Hood signing off.